Okay, you guys, welcome to Nita's Place. All right. I'm here to discuss Love is Blind, Season 4, After the Altar. And if you see me looking over, I'm looking at my notes because I'm trying to sum this up as fast as I can, okay? Let's see. In the beginning, 3 couples meet in Seattle, which are the Browns, which is Tiffany and Brett, the Apias, who is Kwame and Chelsea, and the Goitowskis, I want to say, which is Zach and Bliss. Okay, and they all meet up basically, and they I'm going to summarize everything really short and sweet. They show their evolution within 1 year after being married, and I mean, it was nothing really too much to go off of. Tiffany said that she's in her soft girl care wellness era right now, and Brett, she said to her that he appreciated her for making a sacrifice to move to Portland because of his job. She moved immediately after they got married to Portland with him, and it's been an adjustment period, as it should be. But it was nice. She said it felt good to be back in Seattle. Fast forward to, hey, you guys, excuse me, but I forgot to mention that the Apias and the Glukowskis, they both went to a Mariners game, and Chelsea threw out the first ball, and they gave her a pink pitcher's mitt, a glove, what do you want to call, and all 4 of them got jerseys, and they got an autograph, and they got to shake the player's hand, and I thought that was really nice, and it showed that they have a lot of time together as couples. So yeah, and Chelsea threw out the pitch. Came down to Bliss and Zach. Basically, they started out, going to this appointment. And you would think that it's an appointment for IVF or something like that, because, they should be thinking about kids, maybe, or maybe not, but coming to find out, long story short, Zach has an allergy to the pets. And so he's been taking allergy shot treatments. And I know about that because I have allergies really bad. And so I've taken shot therapy also. And he seems to be taken to it. And so they were able to bring back one of the animals, I think the dog or something like that. And they have yet to bring back the cat or something. Yeah. So let's see. The Goitowskis and the Pias seem to be very close. Those 2 couples get along very, very well. They've been the most in touch because they live within blocks of each other, and they call each other on a regular basis. They've gone to vacations together. They had a picture of, they stayed in the same hotel room. They showed a picture of, oh goodness, what is his name? They show a picture of both of the husbands, in the same room, knocked out in the bed, which is let's see. Then they switch over to Micah. Micah meets up with Paul's mother to let her know she's still not over Paul. A year later, she seems to like Micah a lot and does, she does inform Micah that Paul is seeing someone right now, and she doesn't know exactly what seeing someone is or talking to someone is. But the mother said that if Micah wants her to, she'll, hit her in the knees or something like that, hit her in the kneecaps or something. I was like, oh my goodness. Basically, the mother is smitten with Micah for some reason. And let's see, she had a talk with Paul, and he still loves Micah, and he felt they needed more time. And the mother said that his communication style is more like his dad's, which you really have to pull information out of him. So Next, we move to Josh and Jackie. Oh, Lord. The train wreck that is Josh and Jackie. And so they met up on this Ferris wheel, which they have this cheese spread, where they have this, they're still obviously together. And there's a romantic cheese plate with olives and bread and champagne. And Josh says he's lactose intolerant, which is real romantic, He was basically, like shoving the cheese in her mouth, and he threw an olive at her in her mouth, toward her mouth, and he said, "Should I pour the champagne for me first or for you?" Just very chivalrous of him. Not okay, and okay. So as far as with Jackie and Josh, she says that she always mentioned his broccoli cauliflower ears. And it's like, okay, well, you must love him. His broccoli cauliflower ears, that's fine. She feels like they've been together like 50 years or so. And he's like, he felt very uncomfortable with that. I hope she peeped that. He was sitting there. I don't know if you guys peeped it, but did you see him sitting there, his pearl necklace on? So every time he did something, towards her, like he threw the olive at her, he had an analogy for it. He threw an olive and said, "That's because life throws us stuff, boy, bye." Anyway, switch to Paul and his mom. They're in the kitchen. She's helping him, cook or whatever. And he mentions about the new woman that he's seeing. He says he's really interested in her. The mother didn't want nothing to do with that. She kept on, basically going in about how great Micah is. And Paul says that, he still has feelings for Micah, but he doesn't know exactly what they are. Paul is a little confused to me. In fact, he's very confused. And the mother says that there's nothing wrong with begging. Beg Micah to take him back. She will probably love that. I mean, I don't feel as though anyone should have to beg another person to take them back. I think that's going a little overboard, unless they did something really wrong to that person. And I guess being left at the altar, but they both basically left each other at the altar because she wanted to know his answer first, if you remember, and then he told her his answer. So they were waiting on each other's answer. The mother is basically telling Paul, beg for Micah, and Paul's looking at his mother suspect like, are you in my corner or are you here for her? So then we switch to Kwame and Chelsea. They're getting dressed for dinner with all the couples. Chelsea has this beautiful, like, sparkly pink dress on, of course. And Kwame, nice body, I must say. The body's banging, okay, with his lime green suit on. And at the dinner, so anyway, switch to the dinner. At the dinner, they all talk about how it is nice to be authentic with each other, with their person. Tiffany and Brett have been traveling a lot. And then Chelsea, she has a little emotional moment where she says that she appreciates Kwame for, at the table. Also, Zach has a great suggestion about having a flag football team, I guess for the finale, and we're going to the next episode. The next episode, they start out with Marshall and his girlfriend, Shay. They've been dating for a full year. And she looks real young, by the way. He loves her. He loves her yin to his yang. He seems happy. He met up with Brett, and they met up with Brett and Tiffany at a restaurant, and you can tell they've been like in contact, those two couples. After Marshall got with Shay, it seems like Brett and Tiffany had been in contact with them, and they've been waiting to meet up with each other. Okay. And they played shuffleboard together, and the girlfriend just passed her bar. Some kind of doctor she is or something. So let's see. Marshall claims that he's in love with Shay, and so he says that she's the one. And Brett is like, those are some serious, strong words. So we'll see how that works out for their future. So then switch to Micah is with her friend Shelby. Oh, she's so annoying. Picking out flowers. We don't know why they're picking out flowers right then and there, but anyway, they're out there picking out flowers. And her friend still being shady because she said, "Oh, the flowers, don't they remind you of something?" So shady, but that's what Micah likes. So, hey, you like it, I love it. Okay, they were talking about the flower. The flowers were for her mother, and then all of a sudden, Irina shows up. Ugh. And Micah got, let me see. But for some reason, it was mentioned the purple reminds them of bliss. I don't know why they keep putting bliss into the equation, but yeah, they mentioned bliss and the purple and the flowers or something. Do you know why they mentioned that? Put it in the comments below. So, while she's sitting there with her girls, with Shelby and Irina, Micah, she says that she's ready to move on from Paul. And we'll see how that goes. Switch to Jackie and Casey. She was the one that Marshall had mentioned in the reunion. And basically, they were discussing Marshall, of course, and that she has a relationship and that Jackie said that she has a relationship with Casey, Kendra, and Monica. They're like A-Spoon Coons. They've gone on vacations together, and they're thinking about going to Mexico next. Okay, who would have thought? But anyway, Casey said that she has Marshall blocked, and so did Jackie. They had to block him because he kept calling. Casey kept saying, "Hey, I'm okay with it, Marshall. Okay, you have to keep apologizing." Marshall was like, "I'm sorry about mentioning you, blah, blah, blah." And she was just like, "Okay, enough." So she blocked him. And then Casey said that she didn't want her name really mentioned in a reunion. She was just like, "Why was my name mentioned?" But the fact that Marshall, he was very dismissive about their relationship. He tried to play it cool. Initially, Casey said that she made contact just to be friendly because she just felt bad for him, And so then that's how that all went down. But then they end up being more than just friends. So what she didn't like is the fact that, it was projected as it was just one date, but it was really more than that. And so that was their conversation. And Jackie was like, "Girl, I'm over him, so you can have at it, I got my broccoli and cauliflower ears, So anyway, switch to Amber and Paul, and switch to Bliss and Amber. Bliss and Amber, they meet up. Okay, switch to Bliss and Amber. They're just at a shop or something, and Bliss is just catching up with Amber. Hey, what have you been up to, pretty much? And Amber is thinking about moving to San Diego, and she's like, "Oh wow," And Bliss told Amber about a trip to Europe that her and Zach are about to take. So they've been traveling a lot, her and Zach, and so that's their next trip. And Amber, Amber also mentioned that Paul may be moving to, I think Amber said that Paul, every time he sees her, he just like sort of brushes her off because it's like he doesn't like that. It's a weird, some kind of interaction. So he'll just brush her off. I don't know if it was mentioned at the time. You can let me know below. But I remember, I think I remember Bliss saying to Amber that Paul is moving to San Diego too. And so she said, oh no, well, maybe we see each other or something like that. Anyway, switch to dinner at Chelsea's aunt's house. Everybody was in pink, so I assumed that it was around Easter time. A room full of women. Kwame just walked into a room full of women. Okay, we'll just say that. And he got better after his sister and his brother showed up. Of course, he felt a little bit more at home. His sister really likes Chelsea. I mean, she really takes her in as a sister-in-law and everything. She makes herself very at home, Chelsea asks Kwame to tell the story of the first time he tasted jollof rice. And so, he told the whole story. And basically, long story short, it was his mother at the airport. And that was the first time he ever met his mother. And she had 3 Tupperware bowls of jollof rice, and where they all just ate the jollof rice, and it was really good. So that was the first memory he has of jollof rice. And Chelsea said that she left a note when she went to Africa to meet his mother. And the mother read it behind closed doors, and they both had a different understanding of each other and everything. And Chelsea said, I'm just so happy that you created your son, Kwame, whatever, And so let me see. They kissed at the table, Kwame and Chelsea and everybody. The whole table full of women and his brother, was just like, okay, PDA, So anyway, next. Okay, then you switch to Josh and Jackie. They move into their apartment. It's just a basic apartment, it's in a building, up a couple flights or whatever. There's a view. And so she throws down this little Ross rug, and she throws it right there at the beginning of the dining room. And he's like, well, where you plan on putting that? She said, well, probably in front of the bed like we had at the other apartment. And so he said, well, why is it there? So anyway, I digress. He continues to ding on her as usual. He said, okay, you unpack. Like, she's thinking it's like fun or funny. It's not fun or funny to me because he's just very disrespectful. He's like a kid. All right. And he said that they are in love, but they are taking it slow. Okay. And no engagement, no ring, no wedding, just roomies with benefits. Next. Okay, switch to Brett and Tiff. Brett is being Brett, I guess, is the captain of his team, and he tries to plan out, he has the whole whiteboard up and he's planning the team strategy or whatever. He put Tiff as center. If you ever noticed that, he put Tiff as center, and then he's the QB, okay? Because he didn't want nobody else to be behind this woman, okay, as the center. That was sort of cute. But anyway, they both go back and forth about who knows football better. And Tiffany does seem to have a nice knowledge of football. I think maybe, if not more than Brett, because like Brett said, he's, people think, the way he's built very muscular, and, he has a nice body. You would think that he's more, sports oriented, but he's not. Tiff and Kwame are very competitive people. So, Brett already knows that. And, Tiff wants to win. She was like, I want to win. I'm competitive, So, let's see. What's Bliss and Zach, they go to start setting up, the football field for the fantasy football league thing that they're going to have, event that they're going to have. And so then comes Paul and Marshall. They walk in together. They're really geed up, Then comes Cassia, I don't know, I'm tearing that name up. Cassia and Amber, and then Nick, JP, Jimmy, then Tiff and Brett with the trophy. They come in with the trophy. And then the three villains, they walk in, Micah, Irina, and Shelby. And the first thing out of one of their mouths, I believe it was Shelby, is, how, they're looking at they're looking at Bliss. And they're like, how her boobs fit in that? Shaking my head. It's just nasty. Just people just nasty for no reason. And last in was Jackie and Josh. Okay, so just to sum this up, they had the game. The people in the purple, they won. Whoever they were, I forget. And so they had a little celebration. While they were on the court, they were sitting down, Chelsea and Micah. Micah expressed that, she didn't mean what she did, or whatever, whatever words they had in the past. Let's leave the past behind. And, Chelsea agreed with her. They had a hug. And then, what is her name? Amber and Paul, they talked about, moving to San Diego. And, Paul was like, well, maybe we'll hang out. So I guess they'll be hanging out once they move to San Diego. Let's see. So then, the game is over. They go to the after party. They have they're at the bar. Everybody comes who participated, including one extra guy, because I think Marshall brought a friend with him. I don't know who he was. I didn't get that. It's not important. Jackie and Josh end up coming in, and Marshall's looking all around, the different looks of Marshall. Everybody did the different expressions of Marshall. Huh? You said what? Who? Where you at? Huh? So they were doing all that, the different looks of Marshall, and he's the one who actually, was filming that, everyone giving the different looks of Marshall. And so that was sort of fun, I guess. And he had, in the meantime, pulled Jackie to the side and he said, can we talk? So they moved over to the little booth and basically they said they wish each other the best. I'm just summing this up because it's not that deep, okay? Jackie said, well, I hope that you're happy. She said, it's been a year. Hopefully you found someone. And he said, yes, I have. And, I'm happy. And she said, good. I wish you all the happiness. They said that to each other. They get up and they give each other a hug. Okay? So then you have, what is her name? Irina. She goes over to Amber, and she said that, she didn't mean any harm by acting shady in the house, Miss Shady herself, when she was laughing at her being emotional, about Paul, was it Paul or Zach? But anyway, her being emotional, okay? And, Amber just said, hey, it's behind us, no ill feelings, just grow from this, okay? Just grow. All right. And so they hugged, and that was that. About Paul, was it Paul or Zach? But anyway, her being emotional. Okay. And, Amber just said, hey, it's behind us, no ill feelings, just grow from this. Okay. Just grow. All right. And so they hugged, and that was that. Then Jackie, she was told that Monica and she was told by Keisha. That's what she was told by Keisha. She was told by Keisha that Monica was on her way there. She was like, oh no, Josh is gonna be really pissed. He's not gonna like that. And so then Jackie goes over to Josh and said, hey, Monica's on her way. And he's like, for what? Because it must have been a situation where, Monica went on her own page, and she had put out there that, Josh did ask her for her hand in marriage and that they were engaged. And so she was like, that was my truth. And so it's not like I wanted anything from it, because her and Jackie are like this, okay? Ace Boon Coons, okay? Who would have known? I didn't know Jackie had built those kind of relationships up in the house, but I guess she did. And her and Monica are really tight. And Monica was just like, when she got there, Monica came in, and it was like, she asked to speak to Jackie over to the side, and she was just expressing to her, I don't care about Josh. I care about this. When she was talking to her and Jackie, I care about this, me and you. Okay. I'm here to, fight for our friendship, And so Jackie, she told Jackie in the long run, but you can go, she said, I prefer not to speak to Josh alone, but if you want to go get him, you can bring him. And I like all three of us talk, And so they all three sat down and everything. And, Josh had some words with Monica. Why would you put that out there? It seems like you're a publicity seeker or something like that. And, Monica was like, I wasn't seeking any kind of publicity. I was just telling my truth. And so she basically, they went back and forth, and Jackie ended up walking off. Well, no, before Jackie walked off, she told Jackie, I don't know how you deal with this. He's like a kid. And so then Jackie walks off. She goes into the corner. She said, well, I just can't take this, It's too much between the friend and my boyfriend and my friend, It's just too much. And so she eventually walks outside the restaurant, and then Josh comes to her and he's like, hey, you want to leave? And so she said, yeah, I think it'd be best, And I'm not sure exactly where she left it. It's almost like as if she was saying, well, maybe I have to choose my friend over my boyfriend. But then in the side, she said, my man always going to come first, So I don't know where Jackie is. Who knows? And so pretty much, they showed, what is Bliss and Zach go to Europe. And they showing all these lovely pictures of him picking her up and twirling her around into the romantic bliss of it all, and basically that was the end of the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. It was nothing much to really review, but please like, share, and subscribe, and leave your comments down below. I'll see you next time on Nita's Place. Out.